When the sparks fall to the ground, there are three possibilities. If the spark falls down on dry grass, then it can immediately ignite the grass. If the spark falls down on ordinary grass, then it may burn for some time, but soon it is extinguished. And if the spark falls on the water, it is immediately extinguished. In this analogy, the fire represents God, the Supreme Spirit, and the sparks that blow away from the fire represent the individual spiritual living entities who want to live separate from God. When they fall into the material world in the mode of goodness, they retain enough of their spiritual qualities to ignite these spiritual qualities in others by their association. When they fall into the mode of passion, their spiritual qualities are gradually extinguished by too much contact with matter. And when they fall into ignorance, their spiritual qualities are immediately extinguished. So, those who are captured by the sattva guna, the mode of goodness, are intelligent. They have got knowledge of spiritual life, and they can become a qualified brahmana and teach others. Those who are captured by the rajoguna, the mode of passion, are very active, always busy in material activities. And those who have been captured by tamoguna, the mode of ignorance, are lazy and sleepy. These are the symptoms of the three modes. All the material activities under the mode of passion and ignorance are foolish activities. But when one is in goodness, he's sober. He can understand the value of human life, how one should live, what is the aim of life, that the goal of life is to understand Brahman, or God. Brahma janateti brahmanaha. A brahmana is one who understands what is Brahman. Therefore, the brahmanas are conducted by the quality of goodness, sattva guna. Chatur varnyam maya shrishtam guna karma vibhagasaha. The four divisions of human society are created by me according to the three modes of material nature and the work associated with them. Bhagavad-gita 4:13. We have all been captured by one of these gunas. Therefore, one's guna has to be taken into account. It is very difficult to change one's adopted mode or material quality, but we can immediately transcend all these material gunas by the process of bhakti yoga. Mang chayo vyabhicharena bhakti yogena sevate sa gunan samatityaitan brahma bhujaya kalpate. One who engages in full devotional service, unfailing in all circumstances, at once transcends the modes of material nature and thus comes to the level of Brahman. Bhagavad-gita 14:26. So if you take fully to the bhakti yoga process, engaging all your time, energy, and work in transcendental acts of service to Krishna, then you are no longer influenced by any of these three material qualities, goodness, passion, or ignorance. Anyone who is engaged in the devotional service of Krishna, avyabhicharini, without any deviation, staunch, devout attention, such a person immediately becomes transcendental to all the material qualities because he is situated in his original spiritual consciousness. Devotional service is not within these material qualities. It is transcendental. Bhakti yoga is transcendental to this material world, and you cannot understand Krishna or God without bhakti. Bhaktya mam abhijanati yavanyas chasmi tatvataha tato mang tatvato jnatva bishate taranantaram. One can understand me as I am, as the Supreme Personality of Godhead, only by devotional service. And when one is in full consciousness of me by such devotion, he can enter into the kingdom of God. Bhagavad-gita 18:55. Only bhaktya mam abhijanati, only the devotee, the bhakti, can understand Krishna as he is. Otherwise, it is not possible. If you want to understand what God is in reality, then you have to adopt this bhakti process of devotional service. If you take up this spiritual process and devote all your time and energy to it, then you transcend the three modes of material nature and all other religious and spiritual processes. Therefore, Narada says, Tyaktva svadharman charanam bhujam harer, bhajan apakvo tapatet tato yadi, yatrakva vabhadram abhuda mushyakim, ko varta apto bhajatang svadharmataha. One who has forsaken his material occupation to engage in the devotional service may sometimes fall down while in an immature stage, yet there is no danger of his being unsuccessful. On the other hand, a non-devotee, although fully engaged in occupational duties, does not gain anything. Srimad Bhagavatam 1.5.17. Therefore, if anyone, even by sentiment, gives up his material occupational duty according to guna, and engages exclusively in devotional service, then by this surrender to Krishna, he immediately transcends the modes of material nature and comes to the transcendental platform of consciousness. That is the verdict of all the Vedic scriptures. So try to get the big picture here. The spirit soul is originally spiritual in quality, similar to the Supreme Personality. But because we come to this material nature to be separate from Krishna, we fall down and we become covered by the material energy, material qualities. Some are covered by goodness, some by passion, and some by ignorance, or some mixture of the three. And according to the particular mode of material nature by which one is covered, one has the qualities of a brahmana in goodness, a kshatriya in passion, or a vaishya or shudra in ignorance. So, it doesn't matter what one's material qualities are. If one takes to this process of devotional service, one is immediately freed from those qualities and again regains his original spiritual quality, svadharma. So the svadharma, the original quality of every living being, is to be engaged in a spiritual service relationship with Krishna. This relationship is in 5 different flavors: neutrality, servitorship, friendship, parenthood, or conjugal love. And this defines our spiritual identity. That spiritual identity is already there. It's eternal, and it's unconditional, so it's going all the time. Whether we're aware of it or not is a different thing. When we come to devotional service, and if we come to the stage of engaging all our time and energy in that service, we automatically attain our original state, our svadharma. That's the secret of devotional service. Devotional service is not like yoga. When one becomes self-realized by the process of yoga in the impersonal way, one stops the process of yoga. That means the process is not eternal. But devotional service, once we begin, it remains our chief feature. It remains our occupation, even after liberation in the spiritual world. So, this eternal process of bhakti yoga is fully spiritual, and that's why it can help us regain our eternal perfect body. We hope you've enjoyed this edition of My Perfect Body. This is David Hughes, your host, reminding you to visit us on the web at esotericteaching.org, where you can purchase the complete Esoteric Teaching Introductory Seminar DVD and many CDs of transcendental music and mantras.